what I know. Better than the rest, just watch me grow. Put me to the test and watch me go. This is my quest, I'ma make it known. They call me obsessive, oh I know. Call me selective with my notes. Call me aggressive with my flow. Call me offensive even though Joe, I ain't gonna lie, life's tough. Try to get by, life's rough. Try to do it right.
Yeehaw soldiers, it's your boy the Anime Sage coming to a video, and this is a review of the manga Phantom Seer. It's been a while since I've done a review on this channel before. I believe the last one was on Goodnight Pun Pun, so let's get into this review. So what is Phantom Seer? Well, Phantom Seer is a manga that was released this year, and it features the adventures of Iori Katanagi and Riku Abitsu. Riku Abitsu is known as a beckoning hand, and she attracts a lot of phantoms, and Iori is essentially a shaman that is meant to, well, defeat the phantoms or exorcise them. So, yeah, it's basically kind of like one of those mangas where where we see one character have some sort of, interesting power where Riku has a bit of a sixth sense in a way that she can feel phantoms, but that's kind of to her detriment because, well, she attracts phantoms and they kind of want her since she's a beckoning hand. Not in that way, but they kind of want to, devour her for power, and so that's the best way I can describe it without it, Anyways, yeah, but that's kind of a basic synopsis. Now, in terms of this manga itself, I again do like it. It's something that I've been reading for the past couple of weeks, and actually, since it debuted, and I think it's good. I do think it's really good. But one of the issues that I do have with it, unfortunately, is that it just seems way too similar to Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, there are some, the curses and phantoms kind of correlate to each other, where some of the effects of, oh, well, there's this and stuff like that and blah, 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 that are kind of similar, like the negative emotions and all these, and how the curses and phantoms kind of function similarly. Now, am I going to go crazy and say, they're the same, Phantom Seer is a fraud manga, blah, just throw it away? And so, no, I'm not going to say that, because I do like Phantom Seer a lot, and I do see certain, differences between both the mangas of, Jujutsu Kaisen and Phantom Seer. However, oh wait, is it manga or mangas? I don't know. I don't know what the plural is, I guess. But anyways, as I was saying, I do see the certain unique aspects between phantoms and curses. However, it's not necessarily a good look, especially when the people who deal with curses and phantoms are, guess what they're called? Shamans. So yeah, not necessarily a good look. But that doesn't mean that, again, Phantom Seer is a bad manga or anything like that. And I don't think you need to have all the originality in the world to be, necessarily the greatest manga of all time. You know what I'm saying? Even if you could, talk about something here's a manga, for example, Black Clover. It has borrowed some stuff from, Naruto and Bleach, and even, Berserk, as I believe Tabata himself has said that he had inspiration from those guys, you know what I'm saying? But that's not necessarily a bad thing, because inspiration is great, because inherently all works of art or something like that, they're all derived from some form of inspiration. And I again am not going to say that, Black Clover is necessarily bad for taking certain aspects from, Naruto, Bleach, or even Berserk, and being oh, let's just I'm just going to use part of this in my manga and make my own story. That's not inherently bad. And I think people are under this impression that you have to be original in order to be in this top tier of manga and stuff like that, when that's not really the case. You can, as long as your inspiration is good, or maybe even better than the work that you're inspired from, that's fine. Honestly, you can talk about all your inspirations all you want. As long as it's good writing and stuff like that, and not necessarily blatant plagiarism. I feel like that's absolutely fine. That's something that I think a lot of people need to realize. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Back to, this entire review process. When I look at something like Phantom Seer, another thing I really do like about it, though, is probably the art style. The faces are inherently expressive, and you got, especially with, Iori, Riku, and I just love it. It's just so pleasant to look at, and I love the expressions that are used. It can be a little bit wacky at times, but that's just how it is, the kind of manga. And I would love to see some of the, expressions that people like Iori make, or any of the other characters in this manga. I want to see them, make a couple faces here and there in an anime of like Phantom Seer, and I would just love, and because that would just be like so cool. And I also really like the art style where he had like some of the I guess the phantoms, and especially like Ongyuki, Iori's I guess trump card, you could say, his phantom demon, I guess you could call him. But yeah, when I saw one panel with Ongyuki in it, and where someone like reached Phantom Seer, and I just like saw the one panel where introduced Ongyuki, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta read this manga. It was like one of those moments where it's like, oh, I gotta read this. This looks so amazing. And like, because like, and that's something I really do like about this manga. It's just like some of the phantoms look really good, and like especially when you have like Ongyuki fight some of these phantoms, it's just something that's pleasant to look at when you see them fight. It's just really, really good, honestly. And you also have some other moments where you had like Yayoi, who is the older sister of Iori, use that new technique. I feel that had something to do with eyes that Iori was pumping power into, and just like clapped all those phantoms down there that they had a hard time dealing with. And you can understand like why Yayoi is kind of one of the top shamans in the country. And honestly, by the way, Yayoi is a pretty interesting character in itself, because one, she was kind of the shaman that was kind of advocating for Riku to survive, because she apparently sees a lot of potential in her, which I think is pretty interesting. But another thing I do like about her is that there's a lot of mystique around her, that like we don't know a lot about her yet, but I can tell that she definitely has a bit of a Gojo character. But I think there's some distinct differences that make her different from Gojo Satoru. And honestly, she's a pretty good waifu if you ask me. But that's neither here nor there, Another thing I really do like about this manga, though, is probably some of the themes are presented. Yayoi in chapter 1 said that sometimes you want to do something, but your talents don't necessarily align. For example, someone might want to become an athlete, but their talents are more associated to become an artist. And that kind of played into the theme for Riku, who kind of wanted to, I guess, end her life because she felt so bad about causing all the trouble that she was bringing, because she's a beckoning hand. And Iori can kind of relate to that, because he doesn't necessarily want to become a shaman. He just wants to chill and stuff like that, because he's not necessarily the most motivated, even though he has all the potential in the world. Like, I feel like the theme of sometimes your talents don't align with your goals in life, that is something that rings true. Riku wants to help people, but naturally her talents in attracting phantoms are going to kind of they're not going to align necessarily, because yeah, like you're just bringing a danger towards people, not necessarily helping people. And then for Iori, he doesn't really want to become a shaman. And we kind of learned that there was some stuff that happened with Iori in his past, and I don't necessarily want to get into too much spoilers, but yeah, based off of those types of, I guess, circumstances, Iori kind of lost some of the motivation to become a shaman, even though he's insanely talented. And the theme just plays itself a lot throughout the manga. And another thing I do like, again, is the interaction between Riku and Iori on a side note, because Riku is, again, this motivated person who wants to help people, while Iori's like, nah, I don't want to do this. And it's like, and it just creates some of the more interesting interactions that I just find very cute and stuff like, and I just kind of ship these two, honestly. Like, I'm actively shipping Iori Riku on it, just like no cap, because these two just are so cute together, just being honest, because based off like all their interactions, some of the vast differences between each other. And honestly, I think there could be some interesting narrative purpose between these two characters, simply because of the fact that, again, their goals are kind of different, but in a way they're connected due to the one theme of sometimes your talents do not necessarily align with your goals. And it could be possible that Riku, who just got into shaman training, might become a shaman, and Iori, just chills. It could be possible that both become shaman. It's possible that Riku kind of maybe accepts her fate. Well, who knows? Like, there's a lot of directions this manga could take, and I'm very interested to see what happens. But again, and also something that's another positive, unlike in Jujutsu Kaisen, we don't have Riku necessarily on, I guess, on execution's door, because if you read Jujutsu Kaisen, Yuji kind of, has to be executed, and, he has to collect all the fingers and eat them and stuff like that. But, he's in any case, as of right now, he seems like it seems like he's gonna die at some point, whether it be like throughout the main story of Jujutsu Kaisen, or when he's done collecting all the fingers and he has to be executed. And here with Riku, that's not necessarily the case, because Yayoi sees a lot of talent, and there's not necessarily like some weird, I guess, elderly cast or something like that that's necessarily, I guess, too stubborn to see the talents of Yuji, but it's just how it is. But he also can understand it from the perspective of, well, we don't necessarily want Sukuna out in the world, like, even though you can control it, Sukuna's kind of a dangerous threat, so we kind of have to kill you. Like, I can understand that, you know what I'm saying? I can understand that. Now, on that note, I do really think that this manga is something that a lot of people will enjoy. Again, I'm not saying there's like anything that's groundbreaking with this manga. I think it's a solid read so far based off of 9 chapters. I think if they continue to go the direction that this manga is going, I think it could be a very solid anime, and I think it could definitely be a very solid manga in terms of Shonen's lineup, because Shonen Jump has kind of been needing some new spicy manga since they lost Octodge. But yeah, I do recommend this manga. I would probably, as of right now, give it around a 7 to 8 out of 10, in my opinion, because I do think it's, again, very solid. Now, compared to like stuff like My Hero Academia and Jujutsu Kaisen, it's below that, but I think it's above some of the other stuff I've read, such as Ghost Reaper Girl and Art Blood Oath, which I might do reviews on, who knows. But I guess I should probably address, I guess, the main title of this video, which is, do I really think this manga will blow up in 2021? Yes. If they continue on to this course and they continue on this like solid path, as I just said, I think this manga can go many places. And I think if they just like step it up a bit as we go into like newer villains and stuff like that, or more of Yori's past, I think this manga can really blow up in 2021, which means that it will probably potentially get an anime, and that means is that I think a lot of people will become Seer fans. Again, people might point to, like, how I point out there's not really that much unique about this story. However, I do think that, you don't, again, need originality to blow up necessarily. Again, I just point out Black Clover as an example. Again, not saying that it's bad that Black Clover borrowed aspects from, like, Naruto and Bleach and other factors as well. Again, I take that as inspiration. But it's just like, you don't need to be this like unique spiritual miracle manga to necessarily blow up or capture the hearts of other fans and stuff like that. You just got to be good. You just got to be a good, solid manga. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but yeah, but again, as I said, I do believe that Phantom Seer will blow up in 2021. Mark my words, book it. I highly believe this. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. Anyways, again, for videos that are coming up, again, what if Deku had Spider-Man's powers? That should be a pretty good, I guess, video, as I haven't done that series in like 3 weeks, because again, I was off for like a certain amount of time. I'm also going to work on a certain video. I got the idea from one of my friends, again, Ty, not necessarily Ty Learn, but Ty, I guess Typhoon you could call him. He kind of like made this like thumbnail for like rivalry, the rivalry dynamic between Naruto and Sasuke, and I kind of want to make that video, so yeah, that might be coming up pretty soon, so get ready for that. And they're also probably going to submit what if in between, such as either what if Naruto was the same, which could potentially be the finale, I don't know, but for now, I guess I could also make some side stories out of that. But I just don't know if I can fit what I want in that sample size. Would be based off of like the stories of Dragon Ball and Naruto, but who knows. And yeah, that's probably about it for this video. Yeah, so thank you to my $10 patrons, their names on the screen, and also my $50 patron Anguish, who's gonna see this video before all of you guys. So yeah, and yeah, and I guess in terms of other stuff, follow me on Twitter at MSH4, Instagram is MA_Sage4, and of course, join my Discord server, and yeah, those are great ways for you guys to interact with me, and yeah, just go follow them, /join my Discord, and yeah, just watching me top like a hawk, I kind of stress this a lot because people usually are confused like when certain stuff's coming out. I tell you when the stuff comes out on the community tab, so stop asking that and actually pay attention to my community tab, okay? Good. And yeah, that's again about it. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, share the video. We're getting very close to 25k, so let's get there. And this has been your boy, the Anime Sage, signing out. Peace, YEEHAW. Stephanie Shea, close us out. Bye-bye. Peace.
Hi, this is Stephanie Shea, voice actress for Sailor Moon, Hinata, Orihime, and you are watching Anime Sage.